I made a choice that I wish wasn't pushed upon me to make, and I suffer the consequence of it. My Arua has left our crew. She was a really, really good fighter, one of the best among us. I just hope that whomever I choose to fill her spot will fight half as well. But as to which faction I support, I wanted to help the Huana be strong, but not to start a war and have the Rawatai and the Valians fighting each other while the Huana takes advantage of the situation. But I suppose great events such as Eothas trying to end the gods makes great waves. These waves are what I am dealing with right now. Had I made the choice to go it alone in the Watcher, my ship, then who knows what could have happened in the Deadfire. At least with my choice, I am giving the power over Ukaizo to the Huana, who I rightfully believe out of all the others should have it. Though I don't agree with their rulership exactly, and I would prefer that the Rawatai be the one in charge here in the Deadfire. They are very organized, militaristic, but they're also very advanced and defend their holdings to the utmost. I don't agree with the Huana caste system, and I have seen those of the lower castes suffer just because they are the lower caste and are beneath those that rule. Still, if the Huana are to ever grow and control their own destiny, then this will at least give them that chance. If the Valians or the Rawatai can take this strengthened Huana civilization down, and rule it in pieces, or one of them takes it completely over, then at least the Huana try to make a go of it by themselves, and we would see a superior culture, militarily anyway, rule the Deadfire either way. If not the Huana, then I would like it to be the Rawatai, as I said. Certainly not the greedy Valians or the Principi. Yes, this is my choice, and while I do not regret it at all, I do not savor its consequences. Boudica would like to speak to me. Open the book. That display at the Kahanga Palace was shameful to witness, nothing less than proof of why mortals require capable rulership and a strong hand. When I walk among them again, chaos of that sort won't be tolerated. Authority and temperament are non-negotiable. You blame mortals when a god is the one sowing chaos. Eothas has done nothing but expose an existing fault, one which would have cracked even if we had let it be. My siblings took a valiant swing at Eothas, but it seems our intervention will have to wait until we've had our time to gather our strength. What of you, Watcher? Your bearing is set, and Ukaizo looms on the horizon. After everything you've seen, do you believe mortals are equipped to take control of their destiny, or do they need a firmer hand? Mortals have a chance if you'd only give them time. Time? Watcher, I have been a goddess and queen for many years. Nothing has moved me to concede my authority or abandon my beliefs. Find Eothas. Follow him to Lost Ukaizo. If he listens to reason, then your naive optimism will not be put to waste.
If you desire answers, look no further. I have several.
I want to know more about Ukaizo. At its brightest hour, Ukaizo was the seat of an empire that dominated the continent. The Huana kings and queens might have expanded their control even further, but we put a stop to that. The Apotheosis project needed two resources of uncompromising importance, luminous Adra and a multitude of souls. Ukaizo had both. What's on Ukaizo now? The city stands as a memorial to a different age. Its vacant buildings and flooded streets are a crown supporting but one jewel, the mechanism of reincarnation. Ukaizo is a city, a gravestone, a memory, and a machine. People act as if Ukaizo is the key to controlling the Deadfire. Ukaizo is the Deadfire's true north. Even the Huana, who have long since forgotten Ukaizo's bearing, unconsciously turn to face it in prayer. The last emperor was fond of boasting that an army had never claimed Ukaizo by force. He was easily blinded by pride. Unfortunately, that didn't protect Ukaizo from deceivers within. We feasted and delighted the old ruler, winning his support long enough to activate our machines. Yes, I remember hearing the story from him himself. From that moment and up through the millennia that followed, Ukaizo has been ours. Belongs to the gods. Strange. So your rise to godhood actually set back society's development. Within the Deadfire, yes, it was a calculated decision. The Huana Empire didn't conform to our idea of societal perfection, and neither did its trajectory. They came close, but some unfavorable habits were woven in the fabric of their culture. If the Huana wanted to prove us wrong, they were welcome to rise from the ashes of their past and embrace a future of our design. Back to my other questions. Okay, I think that's enough. Close the book. We'll speak again.
Worika nods stiffly. You feel her presence drift as a breeze, rustling as it goes.
Well, we have to return to our ship, pick up another crew member. And from there, I guess we go to sabotage the Rawatai.
But they're still out there. Will no one help me?
Huh?
Perhaps in a day or two. Prince Haruihi enjoys wild tales.
What's going on?
Now, if there were any man here worthy of a grand reception. The guards here will not listen. Will you, sir?
What's going on?
Myself? I am no lord save upon the deck of my ship. And she is lost.
What's the matter?
I lost my crew. All but myself and the bosun, yet nobody will listen. Not the Queen, nor the trading companies. Too busy waging war upon each other to pay mind to a rudderless captain. They don't understand. It's not just me. What lies out there, it'll swallow us all up if it isn't stopped.
What do you mean?
It were unnatural.
Okay.
The Antelope were a fine ship, and we sailed her out east, out of Kahanga waters and into the great wet country. Bright sky and a good wind. Until the fog came.
I'm talking about the undead ship.
We were boarded before we knew it. Men, things like men that howled like demons. They cut down half my crew, took the rest. Gods forgive me, but if I'd stayed to look on, I'd never have made it to the launch. But we saw it. After the fog cleared and the ship was gone, a spit of land, bristling with the wreckage of other unfortunates. A finer crew I'll not find than that which served upon the Antelope. All dragged into the fog, like the gods plucked them off the deck.
So then the crew is dead.
Mayhaps. But still there is something out there, not slavers, nor snake men. Out there at the edge of the Deadfire, in the dark corners of the world. I am a landlocked wretch with no ship and no crew. But you are a captain of bold repute, and the day may come you sail out to that same isle, with beached ships all around. You have listened well. Here, go you now prepared. And should you ever come upon my crew, do what you can for them.
Give me a cloak of protection.
It's taken impressment of sailors to a whole nother level.
Back out to our ship again. I've received an important missive from Captain Ferrante. Let's read it. Hastily penned letter with smudged ink. My dearest watcher, a god with an agenda tends to put things into perspective. Now more than ever, it is imperative we commandeer the floating hangman, if only so that we may chase Eothas to Ukaizo. A ghastly and rotting ship that haunts the Deadfire. Yes, we've encountered it. I have called a meeting of the Consuego Mes Casitas. Please sail to Dunwich and join us as swiftly as the winds will bring you. Fortune favor you, Captain Ferrante. I would like to destroy the whole floating hangman, but I don't want to... I'll destroy the letter. I don't want to take it. Okay, so, I mean... I think actually Takehu should come with us, even though I would actually prefer the other two companions I've had, such as Vatnir and Seraphim. Takehu, since this is a Juana thing. However, if we're going to go to Dunnage, we might as well go now. The steward would like to speak to me, okay. Let's go into the ship then. Stewart would like to speak to me, huh? I guess a lot of people might want to speak with me. Merc?
Damn me, the cops run dry.
Oh, go get some more then. Little Luca? Not quite like the open ocean. Or the mad. Ahoy, Captain. Fine sailing, aye? Arenia. The mariner salutes. The steward, though, that's the... Okay, I'd have to go below for that. Takehu.
Ukaizo. We are actually going to Ukaizo.
Takehu turns his colorless gaze towards me, unfocused, but full of concern.
The tribes will look to me to bridge our past and our future. A heavy responsibility, I say.
This should empower you, not paralyze you.
The praise they showered on Ngati's chosen. Until now, it all seemed an empty gesture. Never a promise that I could fulfill. I was the toast of Nekataka. But all of that is behind me. I must turn away from delights and think of the tribes. Ukaizo will show us the way. The tribes will find themselves again.
He touches the spot on his forehead, his gaze unfocused with a momentary sense of awe.
I would discover what our ancestors forgot. The Covenant is more important than ever. The tribes are unified but vulnerable. Ukaizo can make them strong again. I will give it thought. There is time enough for that, at least.
He nods, weighing my words with care.
Ukaizo should be the discovery of our lifetime. With the trading companies and the Principe ready to descend on each other, I wish the island had kept its secrets a while longer.
He lets out a weary sigh. The world around me darkens, and once again I feel an insistent tug for my attention, the pull centering from Takehu's soul. Surrender the sensation.
It pains me to see my boy so conflicted. Questions tear at his heart, and the ache reaches me even here.
Andra props her jaw on her fist and regards me coolly.
If you continue to encourage him, his life will grow more complicated. He will be the savior his people want. Someone to drag their past into the present.
She shrugs as if the distinction is nothing to her.
Empires have fallen since I favored the Juana with power and wisdom. How they wield it is their choice. Just see that my boy comes to no harm.
Before I have a chance to react, Andra clasps her hands, and my surroundings assert themselves once more.
There is much to consider, and little time to decide our course. I fear that we will see the path before us before we are ready to walk it.
Wonder if there's any questions I can ask you.
You have questions? Ikera, I have answers.
What do you hope to gain by finding Ngati's covenant on Ukaizo?
What indeed? I say I am of two minds.
Takehu nods and turns his focus inward.
For what did the tribes give Ngati's chosen all the praise and education if I give them nothing in return? But to shackle my hopes as an artist is such a heavy responsibility. It is stifling, I say. Finding the Covenant could bring the Hawana closer to the gods and the ways of the past. I must decide if this is best.
Takehu sighs and nurses his brow. Okay, I'll be off now. What else to think about? Gyurdu red-handed. The sailor hums happily. Rum dum rigere.
Agrasima Casita for taking me on.
Vatnir.
Lead on, Dusk Speaker.
Beodo. Need something, Captain? Oswald? Our bosun's a right smart sailor. Seraphim.
Ahoy, Captain. What can I do you for?
I glimpsed your thoughts when Ramara told us about the sorcerer and its slaves.
I espy a lurking question, Cap.
His ears lower slightly. Were you a slave? His small frame expands as he inhales deeply, then deflates with a long sigh through his nostrils. That would actually explain a lot.
I were born into slavery, Cap. I never knew no father save Romaro, and don't much remember my mother. I do remember the day they tore me from her arms. Her screams. Kind of thing that leaves a mark. It'd have been one thing if I was purchased for labor. To lift or farm or fix or what do you have. But they bought me to fight.
A little Orland to fight, huh?
Threw me in a fucking pit. Set me against other slaves.
He shudders. That is why you hate slavers so much.
Be needing a reason to hate slavers, do I?
No, you have a very personal one, though.
They transported me twixt one pit and the next by ship. And they would set me swabbing decks.
He massages one palm with a furrowed thumb.
One eve, the sorcerer fell upon him sneaking up in the sunset. When blades were drawn, I availed myself of one. Found myself a little justice. Romaro brought me aboard the sorcerer. The rest of the story's old.
Okay, then. Farewell. Seraphin salutes and turns away. Chitupek. Ahoy, Captain. Fine sailing, aye. Did I not speak to you, Beodo? The sailor hums happily. Let's go below decks. The steward would like to speak to me. Steward really hasn't had much to do with me since coming to the Deadfire.
Of your time, Watcher, if you will.
The steward of Cadnua's voice rises soft and evenly from her cracked bust. Yes, steward?
Some of the hands discovered an unusual crate in the ship's hold.
How did a crate get onto my ship unnoticed?
Unfortunately, the ship lacks the defensive fortifications of Cadnua. A crate could have been slipped aboard at any of our ports of call, assuming it wasn't placed among our goods as we took on supplies.
What kind of crate?
It is roughly a yard to a side and labelled beans. The hands who noticed it were tasked by the cook to bring up ingredients for the evening's stew.
No beans in the crate, then. A wave of affirmation rolls from the steward, the spiritual equivalent of a nod. Thank you, Stewart. I'll go and see what it is.
The hand left the crate in the hold if you wish to examine it.
The bus falls into silence. She really has not had much to do. I mean, she was quite important in the running of Cadnua, but my ship's here in the Deadfire? No, not really at all. Hello, Vela. Not quite like the open ocean. I actually like my room. Bed's large enough for the two of us. Shoti and I. No, I worry about what she's going to say. After losing Maya, I don't want to lose anybody else.
Watcher? Tell me what's on your mind?
How are you feeling? Have you suffered any recent nightmares?
Not a one. Thanks to you, I'm sleeping like a babe. No, better even.
Okay.
I never knew nothingness could feel so warm and so nice.
You just want to talk about what happened with Eothas. Okay.
No need to fiddle-foot around. I'm listening.
That's all for now.
I'm glad we talked.
Ameni? Need something, Captain? Mother Sharprock. She trots along beside me, tail held high. Well, at least she knows how to cook. Valtia?
I can still feel those vines under my skin. But that will pass.
Oh, the one we
Thank
saved, yes. I assume that this is the crate, but I'll speak to my crew first. Vector. The mariner salutes. Ikuik. Our boatswain's a right smart sailor. Eld Engram. Thank Andra for the fine seas and finer company. Eloth.
I know that look.
Yeah, well. Do you have any thoughts on our search for Eothas?
I'm still trying to make sense of it. To think that Eothas would destroy the wheel.
He shakes his head.
Meanwhile, the gods squabble over what to do next. They're no better than the scheming authorities here.
Irked, Shoti runs her tongue over her teeth. He frowns, seemingly lost in thought. Yeah. That's all. Adair?
I got time.
What are your thoughts on Eothas at the moment?
It doesn't seem much different than Theos and Woodica, does he?
They were trying to make it so the Hollowborn were a normal thing. I don't know.
Powerful beings thinking they know what's best for us, not caring the costs we pay. Starting to think we'd be better off without the gods. And at least we'd know the messes were our own.
Shoti bites at her bottom lip, bleeding it with blood. Yeah, let's get moving. This may cost me Shoti too. What I'm about to do. What's in this crate?
Will do.
The sense of food, salt, spices, and drink mix with the stale odor of old grass, the musty stink of rats, and the ever-present fragrance of the sea. The Watcher rocks gently, and I hear faint whispers, likely the quiet brushing of the winds against the sails. Not far in, I find the crate in question, its sides split by crowbars, the dry grass used as packing material spill across the floor. Within stands an intricately crafted chest of some dark tropical wood. A polished visage peers up at me, a triumvirate of wild animal faces carved in the swirling Juana style. The front of the chest bears an iron latch affixed to a complex iron mechanism that runs to the top four corners of the chest. I see no bolts or keyholes. Examine the carvings. The three animals seem to be a spider, a stelgaer, and a boar. I don't know if any have greater significance. Examine the latch. Oh, Shoti's nose wrinkles at the image. I reckon this might be the Juana hunting god like Galawain, but not exactly. Thank you. Shoti. My love, examine the latch. I'm probably the most proficient when it comes to opening locks, so this would be my area. The clever mechanism ensures that the box remains tightly sealed. There is no lock and no trap. I should be able to open it safely. Let's open the chest then. I turn the latch to the right, and a series of metal arms shift with it. The clasps holding the top of the chest come free, and I easily lift the lid. Laying within, cradled by dry grass, is an Amoa head, the mottled flesh of its neck raggedly cut free from the rest of its body, wherever that might be. Shoti peers down on the grim cargo. I can't say I was expecting a head, not even a little. Neither was I. Want me to fetch my lantern? As I peer down at the head, I feel a strange prickling sensation along my skin. Soul energy rises from the crate, throbbing in the air in time with the beating of my heart. It begins to take shape before me. Oh, what is this?
You can see me!
Juana.
It's really you then, the captain of the Defiance.
It was I used to be the captain of the Defiance. It's the Watcher, but yes.
Oh, this is fantastic! How satisfying it is to know one did not give one's life in vain. I come from the island of Kazuwari, and we need your aid.
Who are you?
Me, Muatu, formerly of the island of Kazuwari, presently of the Beyond.
Who is this we?
Well, there's me, obviously. And then there's the caretaker, Humaire. She was the one who killed me and put my head in that box.
Oh, that's nice.
And I suppose the people and souls of the island, as well.
Why did this Humaire kill you?
We had to get a messenger to you, but we couldn't let me be seen leaving Kazuwari. An inelegant solution, maybe, but an efficient one.
That is the most horrible way I've ever heard of delivering a message to somebody. Wow. You really did it for... took one for the team there. Why couldn't you let anyone know you left?
The people of Kazuwari are, wary of the uninitiated. For good reason, of course. I came from Kazuwari, where the most skillful hunters, the most hardened explorers, the deadliest warriors all gather to earn the favor of Tawamawai.
Who's that? Worshipped primarily by a small subset of animist Amwa native to the Deadfire, Tamamawai, sometimes called the Faces of the Hunt, has been generally conflated with Galawain by travelers from outside the archipelago. So, Galawain, the god of the hunt.
But Humaire, the island's caretaker, says the essence that sustains the island has sickened. Curdled, she called it. The animals, the trees, they all churn with anger and fear.
Sounds like your Luminous Audra went unhealthy for some reason. Why ask me? What can I do about it that its caretaker can't?
We need a watcher. No one else can talk to souls, Humaire said. And souls are our problem.
Yeah, they usually are.
You're a watcher, right? The watcher. The one who died and lived again. Who speaks to the gods. That's the watcher we need.
More like gets spoken at by the gods.
I knew it! I knew Humaire wouldn't have lied. You will help, won't you?
I'll help if I can. What do you need me to do?
Oh, that's fantastic! Thank you! Speak to Humaire at Kazuari, Watcher. She'll be able to better explain the situation than I am.
Where is Kazuari?
Kazuari's a huge island west of Hasango. It's pretty hard to miss, what with the high cliffs and waterfalls.
I think I've seen it, yeah. There was no port that we could find to make landfall. I know that island.
There's one thing you should know. The Faces of the Hunt jealously control who enters and leaves the island.
It would seem so.
But there's a waterfall on the southern side of the island that will allow you to sneak in, so long as you're circumspect. I guess you should also know.
He grimaces.
The island's residents might not take too kindly to your presence if you're found. They're, prickly bunch.
We can't be seen at all? What kind of a place is this?
But I'm sure that won't be a problem for you.
Sounds utterly bizarre, but whatever. Before I have a chance to respond to the spirit's warning, I notice Constantin hovering nervously behind me. Do you need something?
No, you know, I just...
He clears his throat nervously.
Thing is, I might know something about that box there. A little more than something.
Go on.
All I'm saying is, maybe you don't want to touch it. Maybe we tie a big rock to it and throw it overboard. Right now.
I'm gonna need a bit more to go on than that.
It's a box with a dead man's head in it.
Well, I know that now. Actually, there's a spirit in the head, too.
Great. That's great.
Hey, what's going on? You seem to know a lot about this. Why is that?
Maybe we should talk about it later. You seem to have your hands full.
Are you from that island?
Hey, hello? I'm still here. Are you going to help us? We could really use the help.
Helping people who don't want my help. Sounds like fun.
They're really not so bad once you get to know them. They're almost... nice? Well, no. That's a lie. But Humaire's all right.
The one who cut your head off, okay.
Once we've arrived, I can help you find your way into the heart of the island. You know, if you want me to. I wouldn't want to presume. In the meantime, I'll be here. Well, behind you, really, with the rest of the spirits following you around.
Okay, yeah, so I've got his head. And dialogue. Sounds like another place to go to. Well, you know what? I wouldn't mind that. I don't really want to start the war between the ships. Sorry, between the different factions here. Not yet. Constantin, what's going on? Maybe I should bring him into my group, actually. I'd have to outfit him.
Sure.
Properly. Ah, this world is so strange. And it's gotten stranger. We've got a bunch of things we can do around the Deadfire now, instead of sabotaging the factions, making them go to war with each other, and heading straight for Eothas. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.